morning, welcome to my channel, welcome to another non-red envelope day. It's Thread Club. There are some lovely threads. I haven't really browsed, oops, but let me show you all the goodies and spoilers on some patterns too. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and do the like and the comment and all of that kind of jazz while I get my subscribers back up where they should be. All right, patterns. I've been collecting the Postman. Now, last year I collected the Postman? No, this year I'm collecting the Snowman. Last year I was collecting the Cottage Garden samplings, A Year in the Woods. I picked the ones that I particularly liked, so there's maybe 3 that I didn't particularly like. They're back with my stash, and the first 3 of these are also back with my stash, but nevertheless, we press on. So, the Snowman series, there are spoilers and stuff on the internet where you can see the whole lot gridded out. I'm not sure what size the whole piece is, actually. These are 100 by 130, and they're like 5 inches by 7 inches. I think it will fit onto a fat quarter. Anyway, April was the Postman, and it's a Postman Santa, a snowman even. Let me put it there. Snowman on a unicycle, because, you know, that's normal, isn't it? And then May is the Scarecrow, and the Scarecrow is doing what the Scarecrow does in the field, singing. Okay. But all the wheat is around. So if you're interested in Cottage Garden samplings, you can get one, you can get none, you can get all, you can pick and choose which ones that you want. I was talking with my cross-stitch shop, L&S owner, and she was actually saying that somebody that she knew stopped getting it because it wasn't the spoiler chart that you could actually see, and they thought that they were getting the spoiler chart. And I have to say, the spoiler chart actually looks like a bloody brilliant design. So the spoiler chart is basically this, as if somebody had put a paperweight, like one of those glass paperweights over it. So all you can see is the glass paperweight spoiler, and the rest is kind of hidden. And they make a snowman out of these spoilers, and it looks really, really cool. Sorry, it does. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed too. Yeah, I didn't want to feel stupid though. But, you know, I'm telling you now, Karen. It did look really good. Anyway, Aurora Soie 1421 is a grey. 1416 is a navy. 1415 is a brighter blue. 921, so catching up, 921 is a kind of peachy colour, same colour as the curtains actually. And 633 is a glorious, vibrant orange. Not quite as vibrant as what I'm seeing on the screen, but it is kind of there. Goldy orange. Yeah, anyway, it's orange. Okay, if you go on to Thread Stash, I know I always talk about Thread Stash on these videos. Thread Stash is the bomb. It is just the best app that I've ever used, of the 2 that I've used. It's the best app that I've used, and it also gives you the names of the colors when you're going through Thread Stash, so you can get to see what kind of funky names Aurora Soie have used as well. Okay, Weeks Dye Works. Now, there are 2 new colors in here. Are you ready? Okay, this one is not one of the new ones. This one is 4109, and it's called Love. And look at that variation. Look at that. It's like a plum pink and a pale pink, and that's just awesome. Really, really gorgeous. Lucky is the next one. It's 4111, and it's a variegated green, and it's going into the yellowy greens and the dark green as well. Louisiana Hot Sauce 2266A, and it's got the dark kind of burnt tomato, and then the fresh chili, bright red, burn your backside off kind of thing. London Fog is 1198, and it's a murky green, and it's got that yellow green pea soupy kind of color in it as well. Hard to see maybe against my gray, but there you go. Now, the new colors. Chia, as in chia seed, 1300A, and it is just like a chia seed. It's got the dark grey, and it's got the kind of paler, mushroomy kind of grey. And then finally, Apple Pucker. So think sour apples, 2202A. And it's got a dark green, not very dark, and it's got a lighter yellowy green. So it's subtle, that change, but it's there. Okay, that's the week's die works. What I do is I catalogue all of these in ThreadStash, and I get to know exactly what I've got in my stash. Brilliant. Okie dokie. Cottage garden threads. Now, I was informed last week, and I'm not going to remember all of these. Some of these, and of course now it's going to prove me wrong, some of these are just numbers, and some of these have letters before them. So things like this, JK 03 Bronte, is designed by somebody with initials JK. They're part of the club. There's something like 28 colors in each one, I think 28, 26, something like that. Anyway, neither here nor there. Now, there are two different kinds of labels on these. There's this is the old one and keeps you stupid. This is the new one and teaches you all the things. It tells you how to pull it out, the lengths, all the right things to do, and everything else. This is fantastic. Okay, I mean, this is fantastic too. The concept of these being in a thread drop on the card, that you literally, you pull out the left leg. So you look at it and you pull out the left leg, you hold the top, pull that out, and your thread drop is then about 12 inches, 12 inches long, and you are good to go. The only thing you can't do is really put it back. That's the only problem. What you could do, there are holes. Now, these haven't been put on a display, but there are holes on the top. You could put your stray floss in that hole at the top if you wanted to, or you put them in bags. Okay, so JK 03 Bronte is a gorgeous red. Not very variegated there at all. It's pretty flat, actually. There's a little bit of dark subtlety, but not much. Brodus is a BR08, so the designer is beginning with BR. Don't ask me what. And it's a peach and a cream. Okay. Bridal Veil is 1100, part of the normal collection, and it's a pink and cream into that almost silky cream at the top, the colour of my first wedding dress. It was an ivory. I didn't want white. White was the wrong colour tone for me, and ivory was good, so we got raw silk, and yeah, my sister made it for me. Another broderie, it's a BR15, and it's a green, grey, and a mushroom brown. Sorry, it's off picture. Green, grey, and a mushroomy brown. And then 705 is a burgundy, and isn't that a gorgeous, subtle shift? And these are beautiful to stitch little blocks in. Any of these variegations, just seeing that little subtle change depending on how you stitch. With these, you can either stitch them so that both ends are the same. You can top and tail it so that there's a subtle shift through all of your stitches. You can stitch English method, which is the full stitch? There's two different methods. There's the English and the Danish. One is the full stitch and one is the row and then you go back. So depending on which way you stitch, you can create all of these different versions with your variegation of threads. So don't feel like you've got a variegated thread and you're locked into a particular way. You can change it and subtly make it flow and all these kind of things. You can make it like a watercolor just by the different techniques you use for stitching, for the thread alignment, everything. Okay, so play with your threads. Do a swatch if you need to, if you're not sure how it will actually stitch. So do a little 10 by 10 or something like that. Okay, Classic Colorworks, 5 of these, CCT 250, Pine Needles. Pine Needles is a dirty green, pine needly kind of, dry pine needles, that color, dry pine needles. Pickled Beets, CCT 148, Pickled Beets, and it's purple, but there's a difference in the purples. One is a kind of lilac and one is a more reddy kind of purple. Petite Maison, sorry, there is 6 of these. It's CCT 127. Petite Maison is a silver, a kind of blue, a blue-white, silver-white. Okay. Persimmon is CCT 142, and it's pink, but look at that subtle shift from the dark into the light. Fields of Green, well, it's very Irish, CCT 271. Fields of Green is, as you would imagine, a field in Ireland, like bang. I couldn't get over it when I flew into Ireland, must have been during the summer, because the difference of going from the Australian brown, whatever, not much green in the paddock, to winter over there or whatever, and it was lush green. And they talk about Ireland being emerald green, like the green was almost like, whoa, I need to put on sunglasses, this is insane. Yeah, it was mind bending. It was amazing just to kind of see it, and something that I'd taken for granted. Like, it's a very broad green grass that they grow in Ireland, whereas here it's all kinds of weird stuff. It's runners and horrible grass. Anyway, I diverge even. Cottage Daisies is CCT 270, and it's a gorgeous lemony yellow, but it's quite subtle, and there is a variegation in there. You can just see there's a light and there's a lemon, so there are some subtle changes in that too. And you can do that stitching technique with all of these. Now with is it Classic? No, it's Weeks. What I've been doing on Weeks is unraveling the whole spool and then dividing it into half and into half again, and that's the length that I use. Classic Colorworks, what I do is, I think, unravel it and do a double length drop, and then I can snip it. And Gentle Arts, I think I do similar. I kind of half to a length that I like, and then snip the open ends and leave it hanging the floss drop. Okay, there are some new colors in Gentle Arts. Now there's 2 clubs in Gentle Arts. There's the brown and there's the cream. So they're 2 different ones. The brown is up in the 7,000s. I think it's the newer kind of thing. And then the other one is more like a heritage style. Go and check out the website. The information is all on their website. So Simply Shakers Shutter Green 7003, and it's a green. It's pistachio green. Yeah, pistachio green. Go with that. Okay, Slate is 1010 1010. It's grey, silver, and not much change in there. Silver Fern is green, and yes, there is a variegation in there. You can just see a lighter piece just there, and there's some darker. It's a really nice green though, and very different from the Shutter Green, which is more kind of pistachio green. All right, Peach Ice Cream. Not very peach. Very, very subtle. If there's peach in there, there is a... You know what? It looks more like there's a yellow cream in there than there is a peachy cream in my Daylight. I wouldn't say that's peach by anything, but yeah, Peach Ice Cream is what it's called. It's 0630. Now the 2 newbies, Ohio Sky is like a pale purple gray, and there is a color shift in there. You can see there's white, and then you can see that there's bits of gray as well. Really nice color. And habanero is 0592. I don't know what color a habanero is. I don't think it's pink, but you've got a kind of cherry pink, and then you've got a paler pink in this. It's really pretty though. Really, really pretty. I was talking with my neighbor yesterday, and she was saying that I can, you know, grab a chili if I'd like of some of her plants. She's got birdside chilies, and it's like, oof, yeah, pass. They're the little demon ones. Not that, I don't know how spicy a habanero is. Anyway, that's Thread Club. Link will be in the description for sign up on these. It's a Google form. I get 5 of these clubs. There are 6. There is an Auvera Soie d'Alger. Sorry, no, I get the Auvera Soie d'Alger. There is an Auvera Soie 100.3, which is on the bobbins. If you like the single thread on a bobbin, it wasn't my jam, so I stopped getting that. Because I don't have access to my stash, I was going to be coming to an end with a lot of these because they're ticking through. Well, habanero is H, but anyway. Some of these are getting quite a ways through the alphabet. Although, I have to say, I'm looking at these now going, no, these are all back in the beginning. Don't mind me. But they are going through alphabetically, and then they will repeat, and they'll keep repeating. So if you join up, you will just join in with wherever we are, and then you can repeat until you get to your own stash, or keep going because you have run out because you've already used them all, and that. If you are a Black Needle Society subscriber, Katie uses a lot of these variegations and speciality threads in her patterns, so no harm, no foul actually buying your own stash and then being able to shop in your own home. But that is somewhere that will definitely use them. You can always swap these for DMC. The only problem is that with the variegation, they don't necessarily give you pure matches, so you'll be getting that subtle changes as you stitch. I think some of these do have DMC conversions though, so go and check those out, and check out, you know, whether or not you would like to substitute any of these. But they're fantastic to stitch with. The silks are to die for. I was using the silks predominantly in my temperature library. I don't have it at the moment, but I will eventually get it back, and we'll fill in my temperature. All my books are the different silks from Auvera Soie, and they are just amazing to work with. I've also worked with Silks for You. The cottons are gorgeous too, and I use those around the rest of the library. If you go back through my Instagram, you will see them. When I did show a couple of pictures of my progress. I'm up to June in 2022. So God knows what year I'll get them back, but I will get them back, and I will be continuing on with that because it's a gorgeous pattern. That was by, I think, the Witchy Stitcher. No, Goth Stitch is the designer on the library, and that was a case of you could put 0 in your checkout, or you could pay full price, $22, I think it was, for that. So she was taking kind of like donation charges. And it's still available as far as I know, Goth Stitch. So look her up on Google. If you go onto Etsy, you're just paying for it full price, plus the Etsy charges. So go and buy from the website because the designer actually gets more of the money from that. So yeah, link in the description. I will see you guys on the next video. I'm not sure when it will be. I might actually do a mini show and tell with the whips that I have got in my minuscule stash. And I did have a finish last week that I put up on Instagram. I finished my ink circles. Now I do have a new start. I'm doing The Garden of Oddities by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. If you're interested in jumping in on that, Sal, we are literally doing the frame at the moment for the greenhouse. It's based off the Poison Garden, I think, in Kew Gardens. So if you're interested in herbology, If you like Lola Crow's designing, oh my God, she did the Haunted Library. If you want to go check that out on Instagram, my Haunted Library is the bee's knees. It's just so good. Her coloring and her designing is just fantastic. She is also giving, this is Amy Corbin, the designer, she's also giving a breakdown in the animals found or the plants found. So in this frame, there's 3 animals, I think. There's the crow, the mole, and I can't remember what the third creature was, but there is a breakdown on what a crow is. It's called a corvid. What a mole is. I don't know if you've got moles in the US. We've got moles in the UK, not in Ireland, and they made it to New Zealand. So the Poms brought moles to New Zealand. Go figure. If you go to, like, I've driven a lot through Wales. If you go through Wales, you'll see these gorgeous green fields with these brown hillocks right through the fields. Drives the farmer's batty. But moles are the cutest little things, to be honest. I think they're cute, even if they are blind. And the starry-nosed mole, that's a bit strange, okay? It's got 2 big stars on its nose. Strange creatures. But they're all kinds of cute, and they're little. Anyway, I digress again. So you're going to find out about animals, about the plants. If you ever want to murder someone, you'll be finding out the poison plants. And you can actually visit the poison garden in Kew Gardens. You have to do it, I think, by appointment. It's small groups. You are not allowed to touch anything because the plants in there potentially will kill you. Now, some of them are used in medicine these days because plants. So, yes, I may do that at the end of the week and show you what I've got, show you what I'm up to, show you what I finished, and yeah. And I'm cracking on with Spring in Stars Hollow. That is happening next weekend. And yeah, I've already started kind of framing out all the fiddly bits, counting, recounting, frogging and restitching. It's driving me bonkers. But it will allow me then to do the blocks, to do speed stitching for the challenges. So it's like, yes, strategic, very strategic. All right. I'll let you go. See you on the next video, and thanks for joining me. Bye for now. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.